second phase of building has begun on the Mother of Mercy Montessori building, allowing for the growth of this unique school. In today's feature, we will take a look at the Montessori method and what makes it so special and necessary for children in today's society. Hello, with today's feature story, I am Tessa Habet. This feature story is brought to you by Brothers Habet Limited.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
For more than a century now, the child-focused approach that Dr. Maria Montessori, an Italian physician, developed for educating children has been transforming schools around the globe. As soon as you enter a classroom, you know that something different is afoot. Montessori classrooms are immediately recognizable. You will see children working independently and in groups, often with specially designed learning materials, deeply engaged in their work, and respectful of themselves and their surroundings.
To be honest, I didn't know the place existed. My husband heard about it from a coworker, and he fell in love with the idea. He said that he wanted to send her here because he felt like it was different from the regular curriculum that the other schools offers, and it had a more holistic view. And he said that Catholics are more disciplined, so we definitely knew that Joanna was going to have a good foundation to start off with.
I found out because I have a neighbor who's active in the Divine Mercy Church, and I was exploring possibilities of where to send my firstborn. I'm a very involved parent. So I wanted to make sure that she had the best possible opportunity, start to an educational life. And I shopped around, let's see. And I looked up preschools on Google, on Facebook, everything. And I saw this new venture that was starting. And I was very excited in terms of to have my daughter have this sort of learning. So I found the Facebook page and I looked up Mother of Montessori. And I wasn't sure what it is. It was such a new approach for Belize and Belizean preschools. So I Googled, I did my research, found out about it, and it said that it's a very different, to say the least, different way of learning, but it's to put the child on a different path to education. It's not your traditional learning, but the outcome will be even better.
A Montessori environment is different from a traditional setting because it's prepared for the child so that the child can have the independence that the child will need so that they can move freely. The child is the teacher in a Montessori environment. The child is the one who will decide what they will choose. The guide stands on the side and observes what the child is doing. And then from there, the lessons will be presented to the children. It is not the teacher or the guide who will be giving the children the work. It will be the child who will decide what will be done. The guide is there to observe the child as to what the child is interested in. There are certain things that all children will get. They will get the basics. They will get practical life, grace and courtesy. It's always given to every child. However, the interest of the child is observed, and thus the child will be presented with the materials that the child is most interested in first, so that they can have a connection with the environment. Once they have the connection with the environment, then we can move on to other lessons.
Within the community of a multi-age classroom designed to help create natural opportunities for independence, citizenship, and accountability, children embrace multisensory learning and passionate inquiry. Individual students follow their own curiosity at their own pace, taking the time they need to fully understand each concept and meet individualized learning goals. Choosing a Montessori environment for your child has many benefits. Known for individually paced learning and fostering independence, the Montessori method also encourages empathy, a passion for social justice, and a joy in lifelong learning. Given the freedom and support to question, to probe deeply, and to make connections, Montessori students become confident, enthusiastic, self-directed learners. They are able to think critically, work collaboratively, and act boldly, a skill set necessary for the 21st century. This happens because each child is valued as a unique individual. They are part of a close and caring community. The students enjoy freedom within limits. They are supported in becoming active seekers of knowledge. Self-correction and self-assessment are an integral part of the Montessori classroom. And Montessori supports the development of social and emotional skills.
In the early years that Maria Montessori was a doctor, she was placed in a section of her country in Italy where parents were not able to look after their children. The parents would leave their children in this area that was given to them by the government, and the children would be left there alone. So she was assigned to this section of the society, and she was appalled to see how the children were so neglected. They were searching for things, and it was such a shock to her that she didn't know what else to do but to sit and observe the children. And this is the way that she started to find what the children needed, by observation and documentation. So she would document everything that she would see. She would start to write, and when she saw the children would be picking up like any scrap from the floor just to have something to manipulate, to have in their hands. She started to do research, and she was very interested to see how she can help these children. And then when she saw people come in, the adults would come in, the children would want to do what the adults are doing. So this sparked even more interest to study the children closer, to see how she could help them and what they really needed. So Maria Montessori started her research and used materials from other scientists and people who are already doing other things for people who had like maybe muscle disabilities and things, and she thought that this would help the children as well, because there weren't children who were disabled or anything, they were just neglected. And these children needed care, they needed attention. And she saw that they needed things at their level. They needed the furniture to be at their height, that they can access. They saw that they wanted to do things for themselves, but they would get frustrated when they're always told no, that they can't do this yet, that they should not do this yet. So all of this study brought her little by little to put together what we have today. And of course, over the years, other people who worked with her, they continued her work, and even now it's still being perfected through the Association of Montessori International. We are still trying to see how we can continue to help.
Miss Alma is a very gentle and sweet woman. I remember when she greeted us, it was a very warm experience that we received, and I already felt like Joanna was going to be safe in the environment. So that was a definite plus. On the first day of school, my baby did not want to go home. She's like, "Mommy, can I stay a little while longer, please?" I'm like, "No, Joanna, it's time to go home, you know." She loved it. The entire setup of the place, she walked around, she was, you know, touching everything. Very clean and safe environment for her. So we definitely felt comfortable.
When we say independence, it's not that the child is doing what they want to do. It's for them to be empowered to know how to move and what to do. So the trays are there for the children. Take it from the shelf, put it wherever they want. It could be on the floor, on a rug, and also the rug is also taught to them how to use it. Everything is done and there's a lot of preparation beforehand. There's a lot of preparation before the child comes into the environment. When the child comes in, each child is taught what to do. They're presented with the materials, they're presented with the work. And then from there they can know what to do next. In the meantime, the guide is looking at the child, observing the child, and see where they need help. Okay. Intervention is not done right away unless they're going to harm themselves or someone else. But the child is allowed to move throughout the environment. Anything that's in the environment is for the child to touch. So there's never a time when we can say, "Don't touch this, don't touch that." The child should be able to touch everything in the environment. So it has to be very precise and careful how we set out the materials and how the children are presented with the materials so that they can do this function successfully.
The early years of a child's life, from birth until age 6, are a critical time to set a strong foundation for who a child will become and the role he or she will play in the future. A Montessori classroom is thoughtfully designed to offer children opportunities to develop their own capabilities, whether it is learning how to dress themselves independently, multiply a multi-digit equation, communicate their needs effectively, or problem solve with others. Each classroom is filled with developmentally appropriate activities that encourage children to interact with specific learning materials as well as to work cooperatively with others.
Okay. There are basic materials like the pink tower, the brown stairs, the red rods. These are materials that Maria Montessori obtained from other people because she saw how it could help others. So it's not really Montessori originally, but it was obtained by her so that the children could start to manipulate these materials, and the children then would be prepared for future lessons in geography, in algebra. There's different materials that the children get from an early age. The children do not know that that is what they're doing, but it's preparing their minds. And we have, in practical life, we have everything in the environment is put on trays so that it's easy for the child to take off and replace on the shelf. Of course, this is part of Grace and Courtesy to teach them how to do everything in the environment so that they can move freely and know what they're doing.
Allowing children to make their own choices based on internal motivation rather than adult direction sets a strong foundation for developing capable children. Students of all backgrounds can excel in a Montessori environment. The method is especially helpful for low-income students who tend to be behind their peers academically because of the lack of resources and support that those from higher income families tend to have.
The Montessori method is the same everywhere in the world. Whichever Montessori school you go to, you'll always see that the method is the same. The materials are the same. It's universal. In Belize, I think that we have a lot of broken families, unfortunately. We have a lot of single mothers who need a safe environment to put their children where they know that their child will be well taken care of and not only taught the basics and the academics, but also that the child will be nurtured so that they can be the person that they're supposed to be, that they're going to be encouraged, that they will be fostered so that they can be happy, that they won't be just going into an environment where they're not happy to come to. A Montessori environment is a home away from home. So the setting is different, like we had mentioned, because we want it to look like a home. We want it's child-friendly, but it is scientifically proven that it is for the child. It is not only what any person just came up with. I mean, there was so many years of studies that prove that this method is for a child, and especially in the early ages, in the sensitive periods from that 0 to 6 years. It is so essential for the child to have certain things in their life, and I think the Montessori environment does provide that, and we try our best to obtain the materials that we need so that it can be that authentic Montessori. And also the training that we receive is the Association of Montessori International. So it's not just regular teaching education and then we're trying to adapt the Montessori method. That's not the case here. Here in Belize, at Mother of Mercy Montessori, we're doing the authentic Montessori method that will provide everything that the child needs.
My experience, because of this, it's helping me to kind of let go a bit, but at the same time I want to hold on to her because I don't want her to grow up so fast. But also in a spiritual context, it has helped because we pray together every morning when we come to school, and literally hearing her pray is an encouragement to me to know that, you know, it doesn't matter how young you are, God hears our prayers.
The Mother of Mercy Montessori way has definitely taught me a lot of patience as a parent. I've found whereby, because it's a joint process between my daughter and myself, we have learned processes together. So whereby in the past I would have done it myself and my daughter would have been okay with it, we are learning together on this educational journey. So I've seen whereby she's transferred a lot of the teachings that she has done in the school to the home, and we try to do it together in terms of we try to arrange the environment in the same Mother of Mercy Montessori way, and we try to go about adjust our lives to make sure that she gets most out of this process. My husband and I have this joke whereby my second born acts as if she's an only child and the firstborn. She has such a level of confidence, and I do think I attribute it to MMM. I see whereby because she understands processes, because she's so inquisitive in terms of her learning, and she understands how is it that we do certain things in the house, she understands the cycle of life and different things like that. She's confident in her abilities. She's confident in when she's interacting with her friends. She's the group leader, and she's usually the youngest one. So it's amazing to see that transformation from when she first started as a 3-year-old to now, in terms of how she can converse. She's only 4, going on 5, I understand that, but how she can converse and capture the attention of whether it's her peers or whether it's my peers. They love speaking to her, and she loves asking questions, and she loves getting people's opinions of how things operate. So I see whereby the MMM learning has fostered that in her, and has fostered the knowledge in terms of learning the way of life, and also confidence in operating in just society. I see the benefits, I really do.
Every child is a human being. Not because they're little ones does it mean that they cannot think. They already have a mind of their own, and the children can decide what they like and what they don't like, what they want, what they do not want. And this needs to be respected. Every child has to be given the utmost respect. When we speak to a child, it should be the same as when we're speaking with our best friend, with someone who is very important in our lives. We do not speak down to a child in a Montessori environment. The child is given the highest respect.
Okay, if I could put it in one word, something that my child was receiving from this experience, from being in Mother of Mercy Montessori, would be independence. Joanna has proven to be let me do it myself kind of child. She doesn't want help anymore. She's like, Mommy, I can do it. Let me do it. Let me pour the water. Let me mix my own tea. Let me put my own clothes on and everything. So definitely independence would be that word.
If I could say one word that would encapsulate what my daughter has learned or how she is now as a person throughout this process, I would say inquisitive. She's such an inquisitive person now. She asks the how, the when, the why. She wants to learn the actual process. She's definitely the type, if you teach her how to fish, she will fish for the rest of her life. I just have to do something for her once. She asks, why do you do it this way? How is it that you do it this way? She understands the process, and that's it. As a parent, I'm a proud parent in terms of watching the development of a child. As a family unit, my youngest has brought us closer together. We do more things as a family. It's not that we weren't doing it before, but we have a structure behind it because of what she's learned here. We pray as a family together. We have game nights. We talk about current events, if that makes any sense for a 4-year-old. But I think the MMM way, the Mother of Mercy Montessori way, shows us that even though a child is so young in the process, they have the ability to learn how processes work. They have the ability to understand and to transform, like you said, transform a family and transform a community, because the confidence that they gain, the confidence that they know, the knowledge that they gain here, they're able to share it. They're able to share it and uplift all those that are around them.
We do want to expand at Mother of Mercy Montessori. We are making every effort to grow into a full elementary school. So it would be equivalent to what is Standard 6 for Belize. And currently we are putting a second level on the first level that we have now. And we're hoping that maybe within a year or maybe 2 years we'll be able to open for the second level in Montessori terms. So in Montessori, there's actually 4 levels. There's a 0 to 3 years, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and 9 to 12. So we have children that we accept from 2.5 until 6. We want to grow into the next level, to the 6 and 9, but we have run out of space. So now we are building a second level, and that will take probably a couple years. We're pushing so that we can have it done within 1 year, and if that's the case, then we'll be able to open again within a year for the second level. We are in need of guides, of people who would be interested to get trained for Montessori education. So we do have an application process going on for that. So we would want the person to be a Catholic, a practicing Catholic, or be willing to learn the Catholic faith, because at Mother of Mercy Montessori, it is a Catholic institution, and we do want to share this with the children and their families. So we do have that process going on.
In Belize, Mother of Mercy Montessori is the only school that uses the Montessori method of learning. They are located at 2.5 miles on the Philip Golson Highway next to Divine Mercy Church. Registration for the upcoming school year is open until the end of July.
For families who are interested in putting their children here at Mother of Mercy Montessori, we are accepting applications up until the end of July, because we need to have a number of who we will be catering to by then. So we do need to know by the end of July if interested, and application process can be done at the Divine Mercy office or at the Mother of Mercy Montessori office. Our offices are open Monday through Friday. If the church is not open, the church office is not open, then you can go to the admin building, which is on the compound of Mother of Mercy Montessori. The hours is 8 to 12 and 1 till 5. And the ages is 2.5 to 5 at this time, because we want the child to grow in to the environment. So we wouldn't be accepting children at 6, because it's a little too late, perhaps I could say. That sensitive period is already moving away, and we don't have the next level yet at this time, so we'll have to hold off on the older ages. So if a child is between 2.5 and 5, they're welcome.
For more information, you can contact Alma Habet at 610-6188 or the Divine Mercy Parish Office at 223-7073. You can also find their website at www.motherofmercymontessori.com. The goal of early childhood education should be to activate the child's own natural desire to learn. Maria Montessori. And that's our story. Thanks for watching. This has been a Guadalupe Media production. For this and more feature stories, you can follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or view on Guadalupe Media Channel 96 on CCV or Channel 64 on CBC. You can also tune in on the radio in your car, home, or office at 101.9 FM, and please be sure to download the Guadalupe Media radio app from Google Play or the App Store. Our Blessed Mother, lead us to Jesus.